So we've spent the last month really digging in, right? We've been challenging a lot of ideas about the market. But before we go any further, we have to stop. We have to pause. And I've got a question for you. And look, it has nothing to do with charts. It's not about your strategy, not even your account balance. This one is all about you.
Think about it. 30 days have passed. Who are you right now, in this moment, compared to the person who sat down for that very first session? I'm not asking who you hope to be. I'm asking who you are. Because a month of the right kind of work, well, it should have changed something real inside of you. And if it hasn't, then we really need to figure out why.
All right, let's get into this because it's so important. There is a huge trap built into any kind of learning, and it's something we absolutely have to talk about. It's the trap of mistaking that good feeling you get from just consuming information for actual, real-world change.
Check this out. The psychologists Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi drew this amazing distinction. See, information, that's just content. It goes into your mind, it makes you more knowledgeable, sure. But transformation, that goes into your behavior. It becomes something you do. It's visible. You can literally watch every video, read every book, and still be the exact same trader making the exact same mistakes. The point of all this isn't to create a smarter version of the same person, it's to become a different person. So how do we actually do that? How do we make that jump from just knowing something to actually doing it? Well, lucky for us, we can look back in history for a really powerful model, the Stoics. They had a practice for this exact problem, a disciplined, regular review designed to turn their ideas into action.
And they had a word for it, ascesis. Now, this isn't about beating yourself up or confessing your sins. Just think of it like honest accounting. That's all it is. It's a tough, unsentimental audit of the gap between the person you say you are and the person your actions prove you to be. It's about facing the raw data of your own behavior.
And this quote, wow, it just perfectly captures the mindset of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He wasn't writing his famous meditations for you and me. He was writing them for himself. He was running an audit, looking at his own impatience, his screw-ups, his failures. And the point wasn't to feel bad about it. The point was to close that gap between his principles and his actions, over and over and over again. And that is exactly our model. Okay, so let's take that model and put it to work, right here, right now. We are going to do our own audit. This is not homework for you to do later. No, this is the work. This is the moment that separates the person who just collects information from the person who actually builds themselves with it. We've got 7 questions.
But first, here's the single most important rule. You have to do this in writing. You have to. Answering these questions in your head, it's just too easy. You'll make excuses, you'll tell yourself comfortable lies. But the physical act of putting a pen to paper, it forces a kind of honesty that your brain will try to wriggle out of. So seriously, grab a pen.
All right, let's do this. Question 1.
Okay, think hard. What is the one single idea from the last month that actually changed a specific trading behavior? Not the idea that you found most interesting. Not the one you agreed with the most. I'm talking about an idea that made you physically do something different at the screen. Did you actually start using a hard stop? Did you change your position sizing? I want you to name the idea and the specific action that it caused.
Good. Let's keep going. Question 2.
What rule did you break the most often in the last 30 days? And you've got to be brutally honest here. Was it moving your stop loss just a little bit? Was it revenge trading after taking a loss? Don't just write down, I wasn't disciplined. That's too easy. Name the specific rule, pinpoint it, and try to remember when it happened. What was the trigger? Get precise.
Okay, this next one. This one is a big one. Question 3.
This question, man, it gets right to the heart of it. What pattern do you totally get in your head, but you still haven't changed? You know you shouldn't chase trades, but you still find yourself doing it. You know you should be journaling every single trade, but you skip it. This is all about that painful gap between what you know is right and what you actually do. Find that pattern, because that is where your work is for the next 30 days.
Let's do a quick emotional check-in. Question 4.
So what's your relationship with losing trades like now compared to a month ago? When you took a loss 30 days ago, did it send you spiraling? Today, is it a little more neutral? Is it just data? Or is it exactly the same? Does it have that same emotional sting? Be honest. And if you've been journaling, go back. Look at what you wrote after a loss on day 1 and compare it to a loss last week. The evidence is right there.
All right, let's talk about habits and discipline. Question 5.
What discipline did you let slide? What did you stop doing that you know you shouldn't have? Maybe you were on fire with your pre-market prep for the first 2 weeks and then you got a little lazy.
Maybe your daily journal turned into a weekly summary and then nothing. Identify that positive habit that just fell away. Name it.
Now, let's look at the flip side of that coin. Let's talk positives. Question 6.
What new behavior did you actually start in the last 30 days? Come on, there's got to be something. Maybe you started using a pre-trade checklist for the very first time. Maybe you finally managed to walk away from the screen after a big win instead of giving it back. It doesn't have to be perfect, but acknowledge the new positive things you've started to do. This is your proof that change is actually possible.
And now, let's bring it all home. The final question.
And we are right back where we started. Who are you as a trader today? Based on everything you just wrote down for those last 6 questions, I want you to write one single descriptive sentence. This isn't about your dreams or your goals. Based purely on the hard evidence of your actions over the last 30 days, who are you right now?
You know, the answers you just wrote down, that's the most valuable thing you'll get from all of our time together. Seriously. All the information we've covered, that's just the input. This audit, what you just did, that is the processing. And without that processing, all the information in the world is just noise. It just piles up, but it never, ever transforms you. So here's what you do now. Take that sentence you wrote describing who you are today and put it next to who you were on day 1. The distance between those 2 sentences, that tells you the entire story. It is either the proof that the work is working or it's the proof that the real work is just about to begin. And you know what? Either answer is incredibly valuable because real progress, it always starts with the truth.